Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under, and today I'm presenting to you a Scrapbook Fantasies creative team layout that I've created using the wonderful Nautical Dreams collection, designed and made here in Australia by Alicia Redshort and her company Scrapbook Fantasies. All of these elements have come together to create this amazing layout, which features some Scrapbook Fantasies chipboards as well from Chipboard Club of the Month, and all of the elements that were available using our Nautical Dreams collection. So first of all, I have these chipboard pieces that I have pulled from the Chippies of the Month that I also participate and collect each month, and I am using a white to mount my photos today. These are my photos. They're from Campbell River, and I was at the Maritime and Heritage Centre. I was amusing myself for the day, walking around the township of Campbell River in Vancouver Island and sightseeing all of the beautiful things that are there to see. Now, I also pulled out this chippy of a lighthouse, which I thought I was going to use on this layout, but I chose not to. And so I've got some tags that I'm going to use, and I'm definitely using this wheel. I may use this boat, but in the end you'll see that I don't actually use it on the layout. But I'm thinking about it here for this wheel. I love this Nautical Dreams paper number 3. It is the wood grain, and I love anything wood grain. And also this is going to be my base number 5. It already looks a bit mixed media-ish, but I'm going to mix it up with some of my own just to build up some more dimension and texture for this layout. So cutting off this branding strip, I have taken off that. The back is beautiful as well, but today I'm just using this mixed media side. To start it off, because I know I am going to be adding some textured paste, I am drawing in a messy border. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because it is a messy border, but a good way of getting it to run down your page is just to drag your pen down in one clean, smooth motion. So using some modelling paste and a stencil, I am putting on a rope effect onto this layout, and that ties in with the nautical theme. It is a great stencil, but you will lose a lot of it under the papers, but that's okay because I know it's there. It's building some texture to the layout, and it's not about always seeing all of the work that goes into it underneath. It's about building up those layers and building the texture so that the dimension of the page is there and the shadows and different feel to the layout is there. So I have got some herringbone, and I did do that rope, and I've put it to the side. Now I'm going to colour up my chipboard. Some people like chipboard raw. I don't particularly like it raw. I tend to colour mine all the time. It's a personal choice, each person to their own choices, but I like to colour it up. I'm using Distress Stain here in the liquid format with a sponge on the top that allows it to be done. Now as this dries, this will lighten in colour and it will soak into the chipboard. So to prevent it lightening up, because I really do want that rich red colour, I'm going to put some glossy accents over the top. That will also give it a shine and make it stand out even more, giving more dimension to these particular elements on the layout. Now I've got the 3 stars because everything needed to be in a cluster of 3. I have 3 arrows, which I'm utilising across the layout, you'll see shortly. And I do have like a compass wheel as well. So these are from, like I said, the Chippy of the Month Chipboard Club with Scrapbook Fantasies. Well worth the money. Well cut pieces of chipboard, and well designed to match all of Alicia's different kits. Oh my goodness, I can't even think of words today. Sorry about that, people. So all her kits have matching chipboard, and Naomi John cuts it out on her machine, and this is just another example of the brilliance that this Australian company has. And they do ship overseas. So if you're interested in the papers in this kit, we'll have all the details down below in my description box so that you can refer to it. It is Scrapbook Fantasies. It is an Australian company and the quality is outstanding. So with the wood grain, I'm going to give it some roughened up effect to it. I'm putting that on the strips. I cut it into strips because I wanted to give it that dimension and that roughened feel. I want it to age it up a little bit. I'm using the distress tool to run it down the side. If you don't have a distress tool, you can use your nail, or you could use the side of your scissors. It gives the same effect. It's just to add some texture, some interest, and some dimension to this layer. And as you can see, I've done that all the way down. Now, as I said, I was at Campbell River in Vancouver at Vancouver Island. My girlfriend had gone off kayaking that day. I'm not a kayaker, so I chose to stay in the township, and I walked around the loop exploring on my own. And the Maritime Heritage Museum was drawing my attention. I took a photo of the jetty so that I could actually look straight at the Maritime Museum with a full frontage for you, and then I walked over to it and took photos in front of that area so I could remember and capture that scenery, and it was just beautiful. I'm roughing up, as I said, with the distress tool, and now I'm inking up using what's the name of that one? It's one of my favourite at the moment, and I cannot for the life of me remember it. Here it is here. It is the Scorched Timber from Tim Holtz. So I'm using that ink to distress the edges further and add some more colour and texture to this layout. So as you can see with the torn edges, it now looks like a jagged platform or a jetty that you would see weathered away out around the ocean. I'm going to cut out this circle, and I fussy cut it around, and now I'm showing you how to remove the innards of the wheel spokes. I want to do that because I want the background to come through, and I also want to build some elements into it. I'm using my cutting blade. It's really easy to keep it nice and sharp. You just sharpen it with your household knife sharpener tool, and it makes your blade extremely sharp so that it cuts like butter, and that's really important so that you don't catch your paper as you're cutting. I've fussy cut out the anchor off another of the papers, and I just removed the centre because I'm actually going to weave some jute through it later on. Now these 4 photos I'm trimming down so that I have 2 at 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, no, 4 1/4 by 4, and then the other one is just under 5 and by 3 1/2, so that I can have like a grid pattern of these on my layout, and you will see how that works when we place them in a moment. I'm mounting them on white cardstock. That just brings them up off that background because the colours are similar to the colours in the papers. It is really important that you mount or just lift them so that they don't blend totally into the background but have that little bit of a break and a lift. So I'm now going to place these strips onto my dried background. You can see the textured paste there in the background, and it does look beautiful. It hasn't taken away from the papers, it's just added and complemented, and that's the key of using modelling paste on a layout, is to complement, not overtake what is the original design underneath. So I am placing my photos now so that I know where they're going to sit on the layout, and I want the anchor to come here across the page and be an integral part of the process of layering up. I'm going to use 3 of the tags from the printable tags that Alicia has designed, and they are also complementary to the whole Nautical Dreams collection. And I'm tucking those in behind the photos there. You will also see that I added some eyelets, red eyelets to them to turn them into tags with the jute coming out, so the tags are dressed, they're not naked. I'm adding in this rope behind the photo plus coming across the tag, but as you can see I've changed where those little word phrases, and they too are a printable of this collection, word phrasing, and that's how I've got my little circles here as well. They're on that word phrase page as well. So Alicia has done an amazing job in complementing her whole collection by providing everything you need to create quite an extensive range of layouts with very different feel and effect each time as you use the papers. So I've just cut that compass looking or the wheel looking chipboard in half, so I can tuck half in up the top at those two photos, and I'm going to actually use the other half down here under the anchor. So I'm tying it together in that respect so the eye is drawn around the page. I'm adding in the stars, so that's the 3 stars, and that makes that visual triangle for the eye. And to draw you down to your clusters and tie it all together, I'm adding in the jute, as I said I would be, and trying to get it as a haphazard, lazy effect. I'm really sorry about Ivy in the background. She's having a good old little bark. She does that every now and then, and I do apologise. I'm using white paint here to create splatters. That is really important that you cover your photos as you do your splatters. I've used the back of the branding from my photos to make that happen. And as you can see, this whole layout has now come together pretty much as a mixed media background with a layout to reflect a nautical scene. The splatters and the textured paste add dimension to this layout. The inking of the wood panel adds interest along with the distressing with the paper. You can see how the elements and the messy jute just all bring it together and tie it together into a nice nautical feel. And this is the final layout. Looking at the close-ups here, you can see where the paint splatters and the glossy accents have all worked together. You can see how I've tucked in all of those fussy cut pieces so that the whole layout just gels nicely. Don't forget, Alicia makes all of her own designs, so check out Scrapbook Fantasies on www.scrapbookfantasies.com.au, and you too can be creating a layout just like this through using her amazing papers. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I'm a part of the creative team for Scrapbook Fantasies. Give me a thumbs up if something here appealed to you. Hopefully you'll be keen enough to get inspired. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can find out the next time I'm putting up a new layout. Leave me a comment and some feedback. I really appreciate it. It lets YouTube know you're interested in everything I do. Find me under all my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap, including Instagram, where all my layouts end up. Happy scrapping till next time. Thanks for watching.